My name is Veronica Dorsey, and I am a leadership organizer with the United Workers. On October the 25th, 2008, Baltimore low-wage workers marched from Camden Yards to the Inner Harbor and declared it a human rights zone. Today, we take the first steps in delivering on that promise. With the city facing the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, it is now more important than ever for low-wage workers to stand up for our rights and demand dignity and respect. This crisis threatens the poor more than anyone else. The crisis in our economy threatens to push down wages and push up mistreatment. The economic crisis is caused by poverty wages. How can workers pay for the basics like housing, food, health care when we're paid poverty wages? If we can't afford to pay for the essentials, the entire economy gets pushed down with us. Make no mistake about it. The solution to this economic crisis is to work with dignity. The solution to this crisis is paying workers a living wage, providing education for all, and ensuring that health care is for all. Since we first declared the Inner Harbor a human rights zone, we've been meeting with workers at the Inner Harbor to uncover the kinds of conditions workers faced. We surveyed 147 workers and found out how bad things really were. We learned that managers stealing workers' tips, managers clock out workers early, forcing people to work without pay. Managers harass workers, including touching, grabbing women at work. Managers don't let workers take breaks. One worker at the Cheesecake Factory reported of another worker who was hit, throwing up, and who was asked to keep working, told to drink just some ginger ale and keep working at the restaurant, rather than go home and get better. Another worker at Phillips told us that she once complained that she was sick and had a stomach virus. So she called her manager before her shift to say she was sick, and quote, the manager said, "Get your ass in here and work," unquote. When she got in, she told us she was throwing up all outside around the deck area, and it was only then that they allowed her to go home sick. Workers are paid poverty wages. Workers want chances to improve their skills. Workers can't afford health care. Talking with workers, some patterns emerged. The worst employers became evident based on the level of disrespect, the poverty of wages being paid, and the lack of dignity at the worst three employers. And the worst three employers are Cheesecake Factory. We're putting Cheesecake Factory on notice, and I will translate it because it's written in Spanish. We're putting the Cheesecake Factory on notice for no dignity for workers, no health care access, no education access. The next, Phillips. We are putting Phillips on notice for not paying workers for all hours paid, yelling at workers, disrespecting workers, and firing workers for things like going to a funeral. Requiring workers to buy a water cup from the company store in order to get a drink while you're working. This grill is on notice for paying workers poverty wages, out-of-reach health care, no paid sick days, and sexual. Today, we put M&S Grill Cheesecake Factory and Phillips on notice. Our notice is respect our demands because we will prevail. Human rights will be extended and expanded to Inner Harbor workers. We will prevail no matter how long or difficult the struggle. These three employers are on notice and will soon hear our voices, the voice of Baltimore, demanding better wages for all workers in the city. As a city, we can do better than this. And as a city, we will do better than this. We made a promise to the city on October 25th, 2008, by declaring the Inner Harbor a human rights zone. Today, we take the first step in a long journey that leads to the Underground Railroad to freedom from poverty.